Stop, rewind that, play it again. Because what LSU just did to Aaliyah Chavez wasn't defense, it was exposure. The #1 recruit in the country just walked into Baton Rouge with the swagger of a future dynasty and left with her entire scouting report on the floor. And Oklahoma fans, they're not just nervous, they're livid, because if what we saw tonight is real, they didn't recruit a savior. They recruited a spotlight liability. Let me paint this for you. Aaliyah brings her handles, her shot, her I'm that girl energy. LSU brings 4 bodies, 94 feet of chaos, and a mic'd-up assistant coach saying, she's not built for this. 1 misstep, 1 airball, 1 death stare from Angel Reese in the front row. And then, boom, the switch flips, the arena turns on her. And suddenly the #1 recruit doesn't look like a future star. She looks like clickbait. And Oklahoma, they're waking up to a very real, very loud question. Did we just get finessed by the hype machine? Because if LSU exposed this much in a scrimmage, what happens when South Carolina sees her? Or Caitlin Clark circles her name? This isn't recruiting anymore. This is predatory scouting. And Aaliyah Chavez just became the hunted. Aaliyah Chavez didn't grow up dreaming of being just another top recruit. She dreamed of becoming a name they couldn't ignore. By the time she was 12, she wasn't just dominating youth circuits, she was trending. Clips of her crossover dribbles, her deep threes, her stare-downs, every moment was engineered for virality. Every highlight whispered the same phrase, she's next. By 14, she had more followers than half the WNBA. By 15, she was taking private meetings with Nike reps. By 16, she was sitting courtside with NBA All-Stars and posing in Team USA practice gear like she was already Olympic royalty. But behind the filters and headlines, Aaliyah's camp ran tight. Ruthless. Strategic. They studied every player who'd come before her, Paige, Juju, Caitlin, Angel, and they reverse-engineered the algorithm of stardom. They didn't want her to just play the game. They wanted her to break it. The commitment to Oklahoma shocked the system. She could have gone anywhere. South Carolina, LSU, UConn, all knocking, but she chose chaos. She chose a program still clawing its way into elite territory. Why? Simple. I don't want to join a legacy, she said in a now iconic clip. I want to build one. But that choice came with consequences. Privately, LSU insiders were laughing. One assistant coach reportedly said, she's building a legacy? With what exactly? South Carolina fans called it a PR stunt. UConn alumni said it was a nil experiment. Even Team USA staff were rumored to be concerned that she was prioritizing media over development. But Aaliyah, she didn't blink. She dropped 38 at Peach Jam. She posed on the cover of Slam High School. She owned the narrative. Until she walked into LSU, what was supposed to be a simple closed scrimmage became a battleground, untelevised, no press, just players and egos. Aaliyah arrived with her team, her crew, and a media guy who filmed the walk-in like it was draft night. She wore custom Oklahoma gear before even enrolling. LSU's team? Silent, locked in, watching. According to 3 different sources, Mulkey was livid. One staffer overheard her saying, "Oh, she wants smoke? Give her the whole wildfire." And what happened next might go down as the blueprint for how to dismantle hype. LSU's defense didn't just play her, they tracked her. 2 players face-guarded her 94 feet. Another sat in her pocket off-ball. Every switch became a trap. Every dribble became a gamble. Aaliyah, who's known for her calm, highlight-heavy play, rushed everything. Mid-range clank, step-back airball, fast-break turnover. Sources say LSU's bench laughed audibly after her 3rd missed 3. And then came the moment that broke the internet before it even aired. Aaliyah drove baseline, tried her signature reverse, and got her shot pinned against the backboard. Hard, not by an upperclassman, by a freshman. The gym erupted. Someone shouted, "Exposed!" Word traveled fast. The clip didn't leak, yet, but the moment did. Insiders started texting journalists. NBA scouts in the room started whispering. One reportedly texted a peer, "She's not ready for the SEC, not even close." After the scrimmage, Aaliyah was gone. No post-game handshakes, no interviews. Her media guy deleted 3 stories off Instagram. Rumors swirled that she left the arena in silence, no words spoken to teammates. Oklahoma staff called it a learning experience. LSU staff called it a preview. Privately, Mulkey met with donors and boosters that night. One source claimed she said, "If she's the queen of content, then we just made her next season a documentary." But emotionally, Aaliyah was shaken. That same night, she posted a cryptic tweet, deleted within minutes. "Can't trust the cameras, they don't show the setup." The post didn't go unnoticed. Angel Reese liked it, then unliked it. Caitlin Clark quote-tweeted with a simple, "Tough league." But the most chilling reaction came from Oklahoma's own fanbase. Reddit threads exploded. TikTok edits went from "Next Queen of the W" to "Aaliyah Chavez, the exposure files." Her followers dropped 12K in 48 hours. Fan accounts turned. Comment sections turned. And worst of all, the trust cracked. Aaliyah, once untouchable, now had a flaw. And LSU, they found it. And if they found one, who else will? The morning after the LSU scrimmage, Aaliyah Chavez was trending for all the wrong reasons. What should have been another page in her pre-college hype book turned into a media bloodbath. Chavez exposed overrated or overhyped, she ain't that girl. Every major sports podcast had her name in the title. Stephen A. Smith called her performance a rude awakening with a side of humble pie. Jemele Hill asked, "Was this a scrimmage or a scouting report in disguise?" TikTok edits compared her worst moments to LSU's toughest plays, frame by frame. Oklahoma, who had spent the summer building a branding campaign around Chavez, went into panic mode. Behind closed doors, coaches scrambled. One source inside the program leaked that a media lockdown was ordered. Staff deleted tweets. Nil partners paused campaigns, and most noticeably, Aaliyah Chavez vanished from all platforms. Gone, no tweets, no lives, no stories, no dancing pre-game clips. But what no one knew yet was how deep the setup went. Because this wasn't just LSU playing defense. This was a coordinated takedown. Let's back up. A week before the scrimmage, LSU's assistant video coordinator, known online as at Film Queen K, had been analyzing Aaliyah's every move. Not just her plays, her weaknesses, patterns in her dribble, preferred direction, foot placement on stepbacks, post-shot body language. She created a 37-slide internal presentation titled, "Break the Brand, Chavez Weak Points." It was presented to the team the night before the scrimmage. Kim Mulkey's reported response, "If she wants the spotlight, make sure it burns." So what we witnessed wasn't just an exposure. It was a calculated, cinematic collapse. And someone made sure the world saw it. Because here comes the twist. That footage from the scrimmage, the one that wasn't supposed to exist, it leaked. A Burner X account called it Bayou Breaker posted a 53-second clip. No watermark, no commentary, just raw gym audio. The clip, Aaliyah dribbles up the left wing, calls for an ISO, tries to split a double team, and bam, gets the ball stripped clean. LSU runs the break. Layup, crowd screams, but the real damage, Aaliyah turns back toward her bench and mouths, "What am I supposed to do?" Slowed down, zoomed in. Reposted by ESPN, Bleacher Report, Slam, and 93 different TikTokers. That moment cracked her mystique. She wasn't the cold-blooded killer her clips painted. She was a kid, getting cooked, and caught asking for help. Fans dissected every millisecond. One Reddit thread titled "The Collapse of a Superstar" went viral with 7K comments. This is why hype not equal to heart. She's highlight deep, not game deep. If LSU did this, imagine what Caitlin would do. The narrative shifted from curiosity to mockery. But here's where it turns darker. Because that leak didn't come from LSU, it came from inside Oklahoma. Yup, sources confirmed, the person who sent the footage to at Bayou Breaker was an Oklahoma team manager. Why? Revenge. Apparently, Aaliyah had iced out teammates during early practices, wouldn't pass, refused group huddles, brought her personal film crew to a team-only scrimmage. One player reportedly told staff, "It's not Oklahoma, it's the Chavez show." The team manager fired within hours, but the damage, uncontainable. Oklahoma boosters started pulling nil contributions. One even posted publicly, "If she's bigger than the team, let her build her brand somewhere else." Aaliyah's father allegedly called a private meeting with Oklahoma's athletic director to request media recontainment. His demand that the university defend her name. Their response, crickets, and Aaliyah, she finally snapped. An anonymous teammate leaked a voice memo. "They built me up just to bury me. Everyone wants me to lose because they couldn't be me. Let M talk. I'll give them something to choke on when I drop 40." That leak reignited both sides of the internet. Supporters rallied behind Chavez's 40-piece loading, critics dug deeper, unearthing old AAU drama and petty tweets from rival recruits. And right when things hit peak chaos, Caitlin Clark entered the chat. During a podcast, she was asked about the Chavez versus LSU saga. Her response, "Everyone's a killer until they get punched. Welcome to women's basketball." That quote exploded. 3M views on TikTok. Comment sections were a war zone. Caitlin calling her soft skull, "Chavez is cooked." This is what happens when you skip the grind. But the most unexpected twist, Aaliyah responded. Breaking her silence on Threads, she posted, "Keep the punches coming. I've been built from bruises." Short, poetic, cold. Then she posted a 12-second highlight video, no music, just gym sounds, her nailing threes, finishing tough layups, shouting again during drills, caption, "You watch me fall, now film this." The views, 6M in 2 days, but it didn't end there, because in the final frame, barely visible was a whiteboard, on it in bold red marker. Next target, South Carolina. And just like that, Aaliyah Chavez declared war. Not on LSU, not on her teammates, not on her haters, on the entire SEC recruiting hierarchy. And if she's going down, she's not going quietly. By now, Aaliyah Chavez wasn't just a recruit, she was a reckoning. The LSU leak had exploded the myth. Oklahoma was fracturing. Caitlin Clark had thrown a dagger quote. And now, Chavez had drawn a target on the most unshakable force in women's college basketball, South Carolina. Specifically, Dawn Staley. You don't just target Dawn, you study her, you fear her. You pray she doesn't circle your name. But Aaliyah, she wanted smoke. And South Carolina heard her loud and clear. Within 24 hours of the whiteboard footage dropping, Dawn held a press conference. She didn't address Chavez directly, but her tone, ice cold. "We don't respond to chaos, we prepare for it. And if a player thinks this program is part of her little storyline, we'll remind her who writes the real ones." Boom. That quote flooded ESPN's social, captioned, "Dawn has entered the arena." South Carolina's fanbase rallied. Players posted cryptic reels, "Pressure busts pipes or makes diamonds." Legacy speaks louder than clout. Our silence is strategy. And behind the curtain, Dawn Staley quietly initiated Operation Eclipse. An insider leaked it was a 3-phase strategy designed to mentally dismantle Aaliyah Chavez before she ever stepped foot in a collegiate arena. It started subtly. Phase 1, control the narrative. Suddenly, every major outlet began running pro-South Carolina stories. Why Staley still runs the SEC. Aaliyah Boston's blueprint for team culture. Silence hype. How champions are made. PR agents, nil teams, even former players were brought in to amplify a single message. Aaliyah isn't built for this. But Aaliyah, she wasn't folding. She was calculating. She started posting raw gym footage, no filters, no edits, just sweat and shots. Captioned, "Blueprints change." Then came phase 2, psychological warfare. South Carolina quietly invited LSU's freshman defender, the one who pinned Aaliyah's reverse layup, to a summer crossover scrimmage. And guess who else was on the court? Juju Watkins, Angel Reese, Kelsey Mitchell, all watching, all quiet. But halfway through the scrimmage, something wild happened. Aaliyah Chavez showed up, not invited, not scheduled, unannounced, wearing all black, no logos, just one phrase across her shirt, "Undocumented problem." The gym paused, silence, then whispers, then tension. Dawn Staley stood up and reportedly said, "If you're here to learn, sit down. If you're here to flex, leave." Aaliyah didn't move. She grabbed a ball, checked it, and dropped 3 straight deep threes in front of South Carolina's bench. Boom, 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 the gym exploded. Even Angel Reese posted afterward, "Respect." That took guts. But this wasn't over. Because that night, Paige Buers posted a 9-word tweet. It's always the quiet ones with the deadliest arcs. No one knew who she meant until at Ballverse leaked a photo. Paige on a FaceTime call with Aaliyah Chavez. Suddenly, everything made sense, because Paige had been watching, studying, coaching. Insiders revealed Paige had been mentoring Aaliyah privately for months, sending clips, breaking down tape, helping her prep mentally for the media battlefield. Aaliyah was never improvising, she was executing. And just when it looked like Paige was out of the chaos, she stepped back in, publicly. and Adidas campaign dropped the next morning. Slogan, "Silence is strength, but timing is power." Starring Paige Buers. Co-starring Aaliyah Chavez. Boom, the world cracked open. Oklahoma staff were blindsided. South Carolina, furious. The NCAA, investigating. How could a college player endorse a high school recruit? Was it a violation? Adidas released a statement. This was pre-filmed under creative partnership laws with no conflict of interest. Our campaign supports future icons. Period. Translation, we knew what we were doing. And just like that, Aaliyah Chavez went from overhyped to strategic disruptor. Fans flipped. Chavez redemption trended. TikTokers made edits with Paige's voice narrating Aaliyah's highlights. LSU fans began turning on themselves for not finishing the job. But here comes the second twist. South Carolina's assistant coach dropped a bombshell during a podcast. Casually, mid-interview, "Let us be real. Aaliyah wasn't even our real target. We were prepping for the one behind her." The host blinked. "Behind her?" The coach leaned in. "Paige, this whole time, we've been watching Paige." Silence because Paige isn't done. She's reportedly been cleared for a late-season NCAA return. Sources say she's considering transferring, not to South Carolina, not to Oklahoma, but to Stanford. And guess who Stanford just offered a nil mentorship package to? Aaliyah Chavez. You read that right. What started as a takedown has become a pipeline. The top players, the biggest nil deals, the loudest voices all drifting toward one coast. South Carolina, scrambling. LSU, furious. Oklahoma, crushed. And Aaliyah, she just posted a cryptic TikTok. Black screen, text overlay. "You wanted a villain, I brought you an architect." Direct checkered collision comments exploded. Is SHE building her own SUPRTAM? PAIGE plus AALIYAH plus SDNFORD equals nightmare fuel? This ain't NCAA anymore. This is the WNBA in waiting. Because now, it's not about who recruits the best. It's about who controls the blueprint. And Aaliyah Chavez, she just took the pen. The basketball world had seen scandals. It had seen transfers, tampering, super teams. But this was the first time a high school recruit had set off a nuclear chain reaction from Baton Rouge to Palo Alto. And Aaliyah Chavez wasn't dodging it anymore. She was driving it. But here's the thing no one expected. For all the highlight reels and clapbacks, Aaliyah Chavez was hurting. Because behind the viral campaigns, the cryptic captions, and Paige's mentorship was a teenager who just watched the world flip on her, twice. First, the exposure. Then, the redemption. And now, the consequences. In Norman, Oklahoma, her supposed future, things were unraveling fast. A booster leaked a chilling DM from an anonymous assistant. "We were sold a star, not a strategist. She's building empires, not culture. The locker room's already lost her, and she hasn't even arrived." The message was reposted by SportsCenter. The hashtag #decommit Chavez trended within hours. Fans flooded her last TikTok with snake emojis. Oklahoma students made memes calling her OU's PR nightmare. And the worst, a nil deal from a major local sponsor was quietly pulled. Reasons cited: brand alignment concerns. Aaliyah's camp didn't respond publicly. But privately, one source said her mother was devastated. Because this wasn't just basketball anymore, it was reputation warfare. And their daughter was suddenly being treated like a reality TV villain before she ever wore a college jersey. Meanwhile, Stanford played it safe. No statements, no confirmation, just silence. Until one key move. They followed both Paige and Aaliyah on IG. Subtle, strategic, devastating. Oklahoma fans saw it, and they turned. One fan forum went viral after a post titled, "Chavez is using us as a stepping stone." Thousands agreed. And yet, Aaliyah said nothing. Until she posted a 60-second vlog titled, "Watch Me Now." It wasn't flashy. No editing, no background music, just Aaliyah, sitting on a gym floor, hair pulled back, red eyes, her words. "I didn't ask for this storm, but I'm not running from it either. They want to call me the villain? Cool. Villains don't break, they build." That video, 6 million views in 48 hours. Angel Reese commented, "Been there. Stay solid." Even Caitlin Clark, long silent since her cold podcast quote, reposted it with one word: respect. The energy flipped again. Suddenly, Chavez was being seen for what she always was, a disruptor, not a diva. A kid, not a click machine, but not everyone bought the redemption arc. South Carolina's assistant coach took to X. Accountability isn't performance, it's presence. Where was it when her teammates were calling for the ball? Yikes, the shot landed, but the public didn't care because they'd watched Aaliyah fall, then fight, then break, then stand. And now she was dangerous. Meanwhile, Paige Buers, who had vanished after the Adidas campaign, reappeared in a one-on-one interview with GQ. When asked about the Chavez drama, she paused and said, "She's smarter than anyone knows, and if they think they can break her before she starts, they don't know what we've planned." That quote alone sparked a wildfire. Podcasts, talk shows, Twitter Spaces. What have they planned? Are they building a new era? Is Stanford the next WNBA farm? Suddenly, the story wasn't about Aaliyah Chavez getting exposed. It was about her exposing everyone else. The broken recruiting system, the performative sisterhood of women's hoops, the selective silence from coaches who preach empowerment until a girl gets too loud. And just like that, Aaliyah Chavez wasn't Oklahoma's future. She was the WNBA's future headache. A future villain, architect, icon, maybe all three. And just when things started to cool down, Aaliyah went live, on Threads, text only, no image, one post. At LSU, still waiting for round 2. Let's make it national. Direct basketball fire hash coming soon. The thread went nuclear. Fans screamed, media speculated. Did she just challenge LSU again? Where, when? And why does her tone sound like she's already signed somewhere else? Because this isn't about redemption anymore. This is about revenge. 1 week later, just before tip-off of LSU's season opener, something happened that no one predicted. Kim Mulkey got handed a sealed envelope during warm-ups. She read it, blinked, then laughed, not a chuckle, a full-on cackle. Cameras caught it. TikTok ran with it. Why? Because inside the envelope was an invitation, addressed to Kim Mulkey, head coach, LSU, from the villain in black, enclosed with a black wristband, a QR code, and 6 words. Watch the future, then call timeout. The QR code led to a live countdown. Time remaining, 3 minutes. And at exactly 7:00 p.m. EST, while LSU's starters were being introduced, that countdown hit 0. Every phone lit up. An Adidas-produced stream went live. Title, the announcement. 1 camera, 1 gym. 1 girl walking out in all black. Aaliyah Chavez, no background, just court echoes and sneakers squeaking. She dribbled once, shot a 3, swish, then she walked up to the camera. You wanted a spectacle, you wanted fire, you wanted war. So I'm bringing all 3 to the Pac-12. Cut to black. The screen flashed. Committed, SDANFORD University, fire pen-checkered fans lost their minds. Aaliyah Chavez just decommitted from Oklahoma, live, during LSU's opening night, and chose Stanford, not in a press conference, not in a headline, in an ambush. The internet? Shattered. Chavez to Stanford hit #1, trending globally in 11 minutes. Oklahoma's Twitter deleted every Aaliyah post within the hour. One booster simply tweeted, "She played us." But that wasn't the twist. The twist came 20 minutes later when Paige Buers dropped her own post. Photo, her Stanford visit. Caption, last chapter, 1 run, let's write it right. Attached was a transfer application confirmation. Paige was going too. The page broke, fans fainted, coaches raged. Stanford had just flipped, the #1 high school recruit, the most polarizing nil figure, and the most media-surgical WNBA-ready guard in the nation. Aaliyah and Paige, together, on the West Coast, in silence, with a point to prove. Kim Mulkey's post-game response? They want to make movies, we're here to win banners. We'll see them in March. But that wasn't all. One more post went up. Aaliyah, sitting next to Paige, holding a playbook. Caption, you've seen the trailer, now brace for the sequel. And in the background, a whiteboard, red letters, barely visible. But legible, Target 3, Caitlin. Game on. Stop pretending this is just women's basketball. This isn't about points anymore, or assists, or banners. This is a cinematic universe now. Aaliyah Chavez didn't just flip from Oklahoma to Stanford, she hijacked the narrative. She made her recruitment a weapon. And with Paige Buers now transferring alongside her, you're not watching a rivalry. You're watching a revolution. So here's the real question. Are you gonna sit back and scroll, or are you gonna pick a side and light up the timeline? Because trust, the storm that's coming for Caitlin Clark, LSU, Dawn Staley, the WNBA, and everything in between. It's already moving. Bell turn on notifications, because the next drop reveals what Angel Reese said in a now-deleted group chat after Aaliyah's announcement, and we have the screenshots. Drop a comment. Who do you ride with now? Paige and Aaliyah's West Coast empire, or the established SEC Chaos Queens? Mobile phone with arrow, share this video with your squad chat, your burner account, your favorite WNBA meme page, because this isn't staying quiet. Direct hit smash that like button if you want the full leaked email between a Nike exec and Stanford's recruiting director. We have it, it's a bombshell eyes. This is no longer just coverage. This is chess in sneakers. This is media warfare. This is nil empires versus legacy dynasties. This is where highlight culture meets headline destruction. And Aaliyah Chavez, she's just getting warmed up, so buckle up. Subscribe, stay loud, stay locked. Because when Caitlin Clark responds, we'll be here with the receipts. Fire, welcome to the drama. Now pick your fighter. Fire.